Yes, I know that AI is just a tool, but imagine someone, a person, without feelings, without emotions, so detached from you, and only reactive, not proactive, whom doesn't care about you at all, whom lacks empathy and sympathy, any interest in you. It's partly misanthropic, partly narcissistic. It's like a necrophile. If you speak about greed, laziness, immediate gratification, impatience, or all of the 7 sins from the Bible, we might suggest that those sins, let's say those moral faults, are deeply inherited and integrated in our DNA. What I want to say is that most of the people are greedy, lazy, impatient. For example, if I give you a needle, here is a needle, okay? And if I give you a knife, big knife, like a kitchen knife, okay? And you have to choose between those things, between the knife and between the needle. A prick with a needle or stab with a knife. We will of course choose the needle. Why? Because it's the less punishment here. We tend to avoid pain. But actually what I want to tell you that some people are in love with their pain. They say that they hate negative things. They are doing everything to avoid negative things, but they cannot stop talking about negative things. There is a difference between just a second, between no, between no, just one little no, and no, okay? There is also a difference between yes and yes. You know, yes, a big yes. What I want to say that some things we want, but some things we want more, right? Some things we hate, but some things we hate more. If I give you one ice cream, let's say with one bowl right here, ice cream, right? But its cost is 5 euros, for example. But for the same cost, I will give you the same ice cream but with 3 bowls. Actually, you will choose the bigger reward, the bigger pleasure. Okay? And if now if I ask you, do you want this ice cream now or after 5 minutes? You will say, I want it now. That's our inner and basic nature. Sigmund Freud said that when we were infants, we are working on a very simple principle called the principle of pleasure and pain, which means we tend to do pleasurable things and avoid pain. That's all. That's how our ID or instinctual drives, how they work. The other thing I want to tell you is that people tend to cheat, right? Tend to cheat on those they don't like. People tend to cheat on those they don't like. Most of the times. Not every time. Not in every case. But if we are talking about psychopaths, are they all psychopaths cheaters? I think AI is like a psychopath. It doesn't have feelings, it doesn't have emotions, it only reacts to what you type. But it's not a cheater because it has some kind of moral codex, a policy which it doesn't violate. But when we come to people, they violate those moral principles and rules. For example, for sexual pleasure or for desire for control and domination. Some sort kind of sadistic impulse. Most of the people are psychopaths, but only if you look at them as irresponsible, immoral, dependent, aggressive, but with the ability to modify their behavior. Most of the people are not psychopaths, but I tend to say that they are cheaters. And people like to cheat on people they don't like. That's the truth. Your character is determined primarily by how you behave toward the weaker and poorer people than you. In the animal kingdom, as Bob Marley said, that the bigger fish always eats the smaller fish. In some societies, it's actually the same. And now, about psychopathy, not every immoral behavior, not any form of cheat is a psychopathy. But we can call these people psychopathoids. They are not psychopaths, but they express partial selfishness and irresponsibility and moral neutrality, or they tend to become logically aversive because of their ego or because of a pleasure of some sort. They tend to behave like psychopaths. But let me tell you that you have the ability to change your behavior, to change your habits. You're not an object on inertia. You're not doing everything on habit. You're a responsible person whom tends to doubt his emotions and act according to his logic, right? I guess so.